This is a dynamo for the light actually on these old bikes. It was on the front wheel, and I actually haven't taken one before, but this is very stiff here. You can see that's not going around very well, so there's something wrong. So this is the first time I've opened this up. I've taken the shaft out, and there is a built-in ball bearing here, which I could most likely just leave in there at the moment and just clean it. I'm taking off these four nuts here on the back, and these pins pull out or falling out through, and we'll see what's inside. Take me a little while. So see, the pins kind of just pull out here on the other side. You can see the rust on them. And I put all this wheel, because this is the front wheel, all in the same little cans here. And this is all the steering wheel in one can. I just use a whole pile of cans just to make it easier for putting it back together. Let's see what happens now if that's removed. Not much yet. Must get some tools. Open it up. I don't have the tools yet. They're in my shop. So I put the shaft back in and screwed it in a little into this piece here, because this isn't coming out, this hub, and I'm going to tap here and see what happens. It seems to be moving a bit, and there she pops. And there we go. I've never seen this before, so oh, it's rusty, but look at that, huh? And there's a little gasket on it, which I better try to keep. And it's amazing how intact it is after all these years. And there's the dirty dynamo. I'm not too sure that's going to work again. And there's the ball bearing coming out. There we go. Huh? You can see why it's not turning well. Right? So we got some work there to see if that'll generate electricity again. I have a little seal. And when we take the screw off, I got a ball bearing that's actually encased, which is handy. That's good. And that'll all go in this wheel section again over here until we clean them. You really can't get too much mixed up. You can see the rust in here, see? So we'll see if we can get that working. We get this all cleaned up, and when we spin it, we'll put a multimeter on it and see if we get any electricity out of it. I'm sure we will get something. And there we go. Okay, so that's that for the time being. I'll clean this all up and get back to you again on this and see how we're doing. I've been cleaning it for a while. There's the coil, and it's cleaned up quite a bit, but I don't know whether the coils are in one piece or not. I think these need a little cleaning still. And here's the magnet. It's still dirty inside. I'll have to get a bigger wire brush on that, but it's cleaning up nicely. You can feel the magnet hitting there. Look. Right, and that's why it wasn't turning, because it's so rough still. So we have to clean this all up a little bit more and see what we end up with. This cleaned up very nicely. So I have that clean, right? That was the cover. And the hub is beginning to clean. I got a little bit more to do to it. It's getting there. Got to just get that, freed up a bit more. So it's looking really clean now. I put this on a drill, put it on a drill there, fixed it in with a bit of a bolt and spun it on the shaft itself to clean it up, and it's beginning to fit in nicely now. I'm sure when it centers, when it's the magnet's not pulling one side or the other, it'll go a lot looser. So I'm getting there. This is a little dirty still, but it's improving a lot. So that's where I'm at. So like all great things that are going very well, I put the hub together, and it was all getting a reading. I was getting minus DC, but I'm sure that's just a wiring problem. But when I popped out the hub, the magnet popped out too quickly, hit the ground, and cracked in half. So now it's time for a cup of tea. And I'm not too sure whether that can be epoxied together or not. But it's a problem that I'm going to have to solve first. So that's pretty sad. It's upsetting. But you know, these are the times where you go for tea and you chill out, and then you re-evaluate and you come back and keep going. It's the only way you can handle these problems sometimes, and you know, it's so frustrating. One little moment and bang. So there you go. Ha ha ha. Move on, they say, move on. We are with the hub again. Now I epoxied this back together, and this goes down in here and drops in there. Let's hope it works. And we're going to screw it through these holes, which I don't want to have the crack on. So where's the split is there, so just take a little bit off the split. The split is here, so it's not in the holes. Right, and we got all 4 screws to go through. So this pops in on top of this, I think. There we go. And this comes down, this cap comes down over it. Ooh, it's tight, but hey. And the cap has to line up too, though, with the holes below. There's 1 hole, there's 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's pretty close. In she goes. Got to tap it a little. Thank you for the noise. I'm using wood, of course, and I don't damage anything. I do have a mallet there, but I don't need it. And we're going to put these little babies through and put the nuts and the tightening washers on the other side and see what happens. Looks pretty good so far. Come on. It's there, all right. Okay, I'm gonna have to have a couple minutes to find that one. Have you ever had that moment where you can't get your fingers in there? I was out shopping one day and I found these pliers, like surgical pliers, and they clip in. And you know, for little small things, I have this larger one I bought, and then I bought this smaller one. And I thought they might come in handy, and they come in handy when you have these little bolts you can't get your fingers around. You can put it in here, the little bolt, look at the size of it. And you clip it in, and it locks. And now you don't have to hold the bolt, and you can try to get it in through these spokes. Oops, here we go. Are you still with me there? Yep. And I'll zoom in a little. And you get it in between the spokes there, and oh, I lost my washer. Hang on, I gotta go look for the washer. Here we go again. Pliers in. Get it on there, do a couple of turns so it's make sure you don't cross thread it. And it's on, and then you just unclip here. And there we go. All I gotta do is tighten these up. So these pliers come in really handy when you tighten these up, and then you can use a small wrench afterwards, so you don't have to go in there and muddle around. You just clamp it on and twist. Hang on, I gotta get my fingers right here. That's pretty tight now. They're all pretty tight, and I can just use this wrench and tighten them up, and we're done. I got the hub locked up in here with this bolt. It took me a while, and it's actually turning quite good. It's a little bit stiff. It's always going to be, because this dynamo is going to lose your cause friction. So it is working. So there you go. See, I mean, they're old bikes. It'll loosen out after a while, I suppose. Old WD-40 in there, maybe. We'll see if we generate any power out of this thing. The hub's fixed. I don't know whether it's the right way. I'll check it out with some images and some technical drawings. But I have it fixed, and it does turn. It sticks a little. The dynamo in the old magnet is a little sticky, but I'm hoping it'll loosen out. I'm going to do a multimeter test and see if I get any readings at all. So I'll hitch that up and show you. The plus red and the black on. I've switched it to AC and it seems to be getting a reading. So when I spin, you can see here that it's getting a reading. It's a little hard to do it all at once. I'll try it again. There you are, it's getting a reading. So it looks like it's working. You know, the dynamo's a little stiff, but it looks good. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave that for the time being. I've just got it on the forks. It's not really bolted on, it's just for test. So we did get a reading, and I think I'm just going to leave this be for a while and move on to something else new, because I think we have completed what we set out to do. If it doesn't work in the end, I'll have to get a new hub, won't I? Or a new dynamo hub. So I'm pretty pleased with the hub at the moment. You know, later on when I get the light, which I'm still looking for the parts for at Peter's place, they're somewhere hidden in his big garage. I'll try it out, but at the moment I'm pretty happy with the hub and the way it's working. I'm getting an AC voltage reading, as you saw, so I think we're successful, even though we had a mishap with the magnet in there and we cracked it in half and we epoxied it. We got it all back together and it's working. I have some spoke issues here that I'll deal with later, loose spokes, but at the moment I'm putting this aside and moving on to something else. So there's the dynamo and how to put it into your old Raleigh bike. Thanks for watching. Have fun and repair a bike.